everyone, it's Pat from Pat's Ever Music, and that's right, you asked for it. You wanted me to teach you how to play Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses. You want me to teach you how to play the riff. I'm going to teach you how to play the riff. That's how this works. If there's anything you want to learn, whether it's a song, a riff, a technique, or something you're having trouble with, leave a comment below, or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. It messages there daily. So diving right on in. Before I start this video, it's hard. It is a hard riff. Did it look like it was hard when I was playing it? It is tricky to play. So what I'm actually going to do in this video is, yes, I'm going to teach you a method with one finger. But should you play it with one finger? No. So if you want to learn the one finger method, skip to this part, but I'm actually going to start off with teaching you how I would play it using all of the fingers and learning to play it in a position. I'll explain all what that means. But if you do just want to learn it with one finger, of course you can go there as well. Alright, diving in. Now, in order to get like a similar-ish tone to Slash from Guns N' Roses, not the same of course, but you know, something in the ballpark. We're using a neck humbucker, we're using a Marshall style, you know, amp distorted, a pedal boosted in front of it, and we've got the tone sort of rolled halfway and a neck humbucker. That's the pickup that we're using. But that sort of scooped, sort of mid-rangey, hooped sort of guitar tone definitely, you know, sounds to me like a Les Paul. So if you've got a Les Paul, Gibson Les Paul, Epiphone Les Paul, whatever, that will certainly get you even closer. So the tricky thing with this riff is you're jumping down between so many different strings all the time. It's not like it's it's not like it's on 2 or 3 strings and you can just get there and it's all in reach. There's a lot of jumping going on. The reason why this is the first riff, I think, I'm showing you how to play it, the harder version with all of your fingers, and then showing you, you know, the easier version with one finger, is it's actually easier with all of your fingers. It just might take you a little bit of time. Now, this riff, you may have heard it a million times, but may not have ever sort of dissected actually what's going on. It's really one sort of melody line, but the first note in the melody line changes. So the first note changes from here. You play that twice. And don't worry, I'll tell you everything. I'll show you how to play it. To here. And then it would start again. So right there, you've got a 4-chord sort of song. And you're going to play this melody over those 4 chords. So just think, it's not that you're learning this really complicated, crazy hard riff. You're learning one melody where the first note changes and it goes through those 4 different notes. Now, if you have seen any sort of guitar tab before, or you've tried to play along and you're wondering, hey, what's going on? In a lot of Guns N' Roses songs, this song included, the strings are actually tuned down half a step. So instead of this being a thick E, it's actually E flat. So I'm teaching you how to play it in normal tuning. So you don't have to touch the tuning on your guitar, but you will be able to play along with the recording. Brilliant, everyone wins. So come on here with your first finger on the 11th fret of the D string, or the 4th string. Now already it's going to start to get tricky. So once you play that note, that's your first sort of bass note before it starts moving. Then pinky, jumping down 2 strings onto the 14th fret on the 2nd string. Then, because you're playing in a position, every time you play 11th, you play with your first finger. Every time you see a 12th, you play with your second. Every time you see a 13th, you play with your third. And every time you see a 14th, you play with the pinky. So once you play those first 2 notes, 3rd finger, string above on the 13th fret. And then 1st finger on the 11th fret, same string. That's what we've got so far. All I would do is practice that, because that's hard enough as it is. Because it's quite fast and challenging, so try and practice just that one part. Once you've got that, move on to the next. And then with your pinky, again, you jump down 2 strings and you play the, just exaggerating to show you, you play the 14th fret on the 1st string. Then you go back to that 13th fret that you just played on the 3rd string. And then you actually play the 13th fret on the 1st string. But I would play it with my pinky. So it actually looked like this. and then you play that 13th fret again. Now the reason why is I think it's actually faster getting your pinky to move around and do the work than trying to use your third finger, because you might lose position there. But try both ways, either with your pinky or your third finger. So there you go. I'll play that whole riff nice and slowly. Now, if that seemed really hard and crazy and too ridiculous, take your time, because that's actually the entire riff. The only thing that changes is the first note. So you would play that section twice. So just imagine we played it twice. Done. So have a look, here's the next section. The only thing that's changed is the first note. Otherwise it's exactly the same. So it sounds like this. So instead of using your first finger to start off the riff, you use your third finger on the 13th fret. Same string that you were before though. Jump down to the 14th, then 13th on the string above, 11th on the string, same string. Then you do the tricky bit, pinky all the way down on the 14th first string, third finger on the 13th, pinky on the 13th, third finger on the 13th. And again, you would play that twice. And you're halfway through the riff, and it actually gets easier. Again, have a look at the third part. Everything is exactly the same except for the first note. So you've gone from playing the 11th fret on the 4th string, the 13th fret on the 4th string, and now you're starting out on the 11th fret of the 3rd string. And this actually makes that first jump from the 11th to the 14th easier. So again, go through the notions. Exactly the same. And the final thing is even easier because it's just the first part repeated again. So you'll just move your first finger up a string to the 11th fret on the 4th string and start the melody again. So again, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, it's one riff, but it's repeated 4 times and the bass note moves around, or the first note moves around. It goes from here to here to here, then back up and starts again. And you do each melody twice. Whole thing nice and slow, sounds like this. Here's part 1. Part 2. Part 3. Part 4, which is actually part 1 again. Alright, that is the riff. Is it hard? Yes. Is it worth learning? Definitely, because the best thing about it is when you're learning it, you're learning the position. You're learning that your first finger should be in sort of one fret area, second finger should be in another fret area, third finger and pinky. Is it really challenging and it might take you a week to learn, 2 weeks to learn, a month to master, 2 months to master? Maybe, but the thing that you always have to remember when you're learning any sort of riff or melody is that the ones that take the longest, or the songs that take you the longest to learn, you're getting so much out of it, whether it's your musical ear, your picking ability, your sort of fretting hand, your all together like your musical memory. The riffs and the songs that take the longest, you'll get so much more out of, so definitely take your time. So as promised, here is the one finger method. It's ridiculous, but I'm just gonna quickly go through it if you just wanted to see it with one finger. But I'm just tacking it in this video for the sake, because you know we do those series, but highly recommend using all of your different fingers. So how you would play it with one finger is you would come on here on the 11th fret on the 4th string. Then you would jump down, go to the 14th fret on the 2nd string. Then you would go up a string to the 13th fret, back 2 frets. So what we've got so far. Then 14th fret on the first string, 13th fret on the third string, drop down all the way to the first string, then up 2 strings. So let's do that again. Now, already you may be discovering a problem. It's easy to play it nice and slow. But try playing it at speed. I don't think I can. Certainly not cleanly. It's so sloppy because you're literally flying all over the place. So, the whole point of putting this one finger version in here is to show you it's no good. Don't do it. Spend your time learning to use the pick, so you're picking individual strings, and spend your time using all of your fingers. Don't just use 2 fingers. Don't use 3. Use 4 fingers for this riff. If you're not using 4 fingers, then maybe you're not using your pinky. But the problem is, you're stretching so much, it's really sort of not brilliant guitar technique. So I'd always suggest use 4 fingers when you can. So if that sort of surprised you a little bit and you didn't think I would be, sort of saying that, unfortunately it's one of those riffs, and that's why I haven't taught it before. It just takes time. It's difficult. You need to use all fingers. It's going to take you some time to learn, but just like I said before, the longer the riff, or the harder the riff, or the harder the song, or the harder the technique, the more time you put into it, the better musician you will be by learning it. So take the time. Hope you had fun. If there's another song that you want to learn, leave a comment below, or another riff. If you want to learn more sort of guitar theory, head over here. If you want to learn more practical riffs and songwriting, head over here. Otherwise, I've been Pat from Pat's Over Music, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.